All right, so the London session is about to begin. I adjusted my stop loss here a little bit based on my previous entry. So right now we've kind of entered into this supply zone, and we have seen that when the price does enter into the zone, it does bounce back into the downside. So we're kind of hoping to see if that happens again. So I've entered into a position here. If not, it may break through into this 4 hourly supply zone where we would reevaluate and then enter into another short position. So let's see. Hopefully this goes pretty well. Hopefully we see a retracement back into the downside and hit into our demand zone. We see if I can move this to here. There we go. Let me drop down into the 5 minute frame. All right. Okay, so here we go. Just open the London session just started. Hopefully we'll see some volatility. Hopefully we'll see it be pushed into the downside. That's what we're hoping for. Oh, again, it's the waiting that killed. So, eating food, watching the stock charts. All right, let's take a quick look. It's being pushed into the upside. Very, very frustrating. There we go. We want a red candle. We want that to be pushing down. I did see quite some time ago, this is the MACD, uh, moving average convergence divergence, something like that. I don't know if I said that right. But if we see the blue line, so apparently if the blue line is above, what's it saying, the signal line. Okay, so if the blue line is above the red line, that indicates bullish momentum. And if it crosses, so we can see if it crosses, so if the blue line goes below the red line, that means we're going into a bearish trend. But I've always found these indicators lack the time that you need, right? So only when it goes into this huge, this surging upward trend that we begin to see it. Um, what I mean is you can see those signals when it's too late. Always found that to be the case, but anyway, I've kept it here just to, as an extra confluence when I want to enter a trade. You can also see here that the London session has just started, so we can see quite a large amount of volume um, entering into the markets at the moment. Really frustrating that the price is respecting this zone for the time being, but I'm a little skeptical now, and I think I'm gonna get stopped out quite soon. But we'll continue to look, continue to wait. Um, can head over to the 4 hourly chart, right? So let's take a look here. I don't know if you saw on my other videos, but I marked out the supply zones. So we've got a supply zone here, we got a demand zone here, and what I'm hoping for is that the price will enter into this zone before retracing back into the downside. So you can kind of see that we are going into a downward trend. Maybe I can mark that out a little bit. We are going into a bit of a downward trend. You see here, we're producing lower highs and lower lows, right? So it is indicating that we hopefully will enter back into that into this supply zone, back into the supply zone and push down even further. So if I get stopped out now, that's fine. We'll wait until it enters into the zone. When it does, we will try and find a shorting position into the downside. Oh, it's not looking good for me. Look at that. Ooh, it's painful. Oh, I'm not enjoying that growth. Yeah. Oh, look, that's where where my stop is. That's where my stop loss is. So, Oh, okay. US dollar is getting weaker today, huh? Now it's just broken. You can see it's just broken here, so that would be considered a break of structure. Let's drop down into a lower time frame. So on the 5 minute frame, let's see whether or not it remains broken. So this would be the break of structure. Let me just mark that out for us. Okay, that was terrible. One thing about IG is that there's no control Z. Like I can't undo something. Very, very frustrating. So to go in and manually do it or change it or redo it is very frustrating. Um, where is my break of structure? Ah, oof, got a lot of trend lines rolling around my uh, charts. Yep, here we go. Oh, I think it is. Yeah. So a full body candle break of structure signals a very bullish momentum, right? So I might get stopped out of this trade. That's really frustrating. That is very frustrating. So if you guys want to know, right now I am down by about $8. Yay, bearish candle, let's go. Bearish, bearish. Yeah, that's a break of structure, isn't it? It's horrible. Mm. One thing I realize I never really studied change of character, like break of structure and change of character so well. So if it broke below here, would that be considered change of character? Or would that be change of character? Because that would be the lowest low, right? And then that would be break of structure. Right? Oh, here we go. It's approaching my stop loss. Another failed trade on the way. Yeah, it's certainly frustrating. It's so frustrating, when because I see Forex trading as like it can either go up or down, right? And when you consecutively get it wrong, it's like, how can you be wrong in direction so many times? It's either up or down. So it's so frustrating when I get stopped out or, I lose money on a trade. Yesterday, I made what, about $10? But before that, I lost 7 trades in a row, which was, I think, $200 or $300. So, that's my life as a trader at the moment. Still learning, still putting in trades, trying to understand the market better and stick to a strategy, right? What I do want to do is do ARB strategy, so open range breakout strategy. I do want to give that a go. Um, but right now I'm just quite attached to supply and demand. So maybe I'll do ARB strategy on another Forex pair, perhaps. I think they say that you want to stick to one session, 5 pairs, and 2 strategies or one strategy. But it's okay to incorporate other strategies just to test them out, but I wouldn't use all of them. For example, yeah, I have the EMA, I have the EMA lines here, but I rarely use them. I rarely use them. I know a lot of traders who, when they're teaching people to forex trade, one of the first things they do is say, okay, as long as the price is above the EMA line, so what we're seeing now, everything's above the EMA line, we're in bullish it's bullish. It's going to go up. And then if these lines cross, then that means it's going to go down or up. The market direction is going to change. So yeah, I know a lot of people who suggest doing the EMA, but I don't know. I just find that it's not as I don't know, it's not the trading style I want to do or the strategy I want to do. But I keep it there. I keep it here. Um, the reason why is the more confluences you have, so the more indications that a price is going to go up or down, the better, right? If you've got really high, momentum into the downside, the EMA has crossed that line. It had already entered a supply zone, broken a resistance level, or broke structure. That's a pretty clear sign that is going to continue on the way down, right? So the more confluences, the better. It's just unfortunately for me, I'm just a terrible trader at the moment, right? I guess every trader starts out like this. Learn, fail, adapt, learn, fail, until eventually you succeed. My goal is to achieve 20 quid, 20 pounds a day profit. So if I can achieve that on the London session within an hour or 2 hours per day, then fantastic. If not, okay, well, that sucks. It's unfortunate. Maybe I need to jump into a lower time frame and do a bit of scalping to try and achieve that within that time frame. But we'll see. We'll see. For now, I'm pretty relaxed with supply and demand, just because you wait until it taps into that zone. Once it's in that zone, you can put in, one of your trades, and then you just sit on your hands and wait. Um, even if this trade, so I'll just leave this trade until it plays out. Or okay, I feel as though there's going to be a bit of a reversal, and I'm already in profit like I did yesterday, and just take that profit. Because yesterday I I did a long around here. So I entered a trade around here, and I think it might have been this candle. It might have been this candlestick here, or this one up here, um, where I entered that trade, and then it started to come back down, but I was already in profit of about something like $10. So I canceled that trade around here. I exited around here, and then look what happened to that price. Just plummeted. Just plummeted. So, you know, you trade the way you want to trade. It's I wouldn't say there is any one way of trading, obviously not. Um, I've seen a lot of traders who have perfected certain strategies and they're doing very, very well. Hopefully I can join them one day. That's the that's the goal. Try and perfect your own trading strategy, apply it, make money. That's it. Become a prop trader, hopefully. Or trade with your own funds, but confidently. Like I said before, I'm never gonna put in my life savings to trade. That's that's not gonna happen. Treat it more like an investment, right? So like 10% of whatever you earn, put it into, Forex trading, give it a go, right? Or, 5% or 1%, whatever it is. But I'll never put, 100% of my investments into Forex trading. I think that's just cause for disaster. So what we're seeing now is it's pushing up, really frustratingly. It is pushing up. You see all this downside. So clearly the sellers were pushing the price down, but the buyers, they're winning this. They're winning this little candlestick fight frustratingly. I want the sellers to win. Push it down. US dollar, become stronger. What is going on with you? What I can do is open up the US dollar basket and we can take a look at the overall, so this is on the daily time frame. Let me drop it down to the 4 hourly frame. Gosh, the US dollar has dropped so much this year. Just look at that. Just look at this. Look at this. So this was in Feb. This is when the tariffs first came out. I mean, take a look at this. The tariffs have come out, and oh, all of this. I think that that was when the tariffs were pausing, which by the way is an ascending wedge, so there's a nice pattern there. And then boom, it just continually drops. Look at this, just continually drops. Any Forex trader trading the US dollar during Trump's term is, is a roller coaster. So hard for me to keep up. Look at that, just plummeting, just plummeting, plummeting, plummeting. Um, so that's the 4 hourly. What we could do is drop down even further and take a look and see if we can identify some patterns. Oh, that's awful break. What happened there? Wednesday to Thursday. Look at that, just huge, a flash break. Whoa, into the downside, which usually pushes all the other currencies up. So the GBP USD that I'm trading at the moment is clearly being pushed up. So what we want to see is this to retrace back up, and then my trade would work. So, I mean, in fairness, if I were to analyze this a little bit more, you see this kind of drop, this zone that the price may need to retrace back into. Um, Hopefully it will retrace and break this high, and we should see it go up, or it's people are just grabbing profits, taking profits, and it's just going to push further down. Um, which yeah, would be really good if I was going to be in a long position. We'll see. We'll see. Um, let's have a look at the US dollar to Canadian dollar. Is this on 4 hours as well? Yeah, huge descension here. Wow. One US dollar to a Canadian dollar. Yeah, so Canadian dollar is strengthening. Again, US dollar is weakening quite a lot. But I don't trade the GBP Canadian. Not yet, at least. I will. I'll begin integrating that later on. I've been looking a little bit more at the Australian dollar and the US dollar. I think that's pretty interesting forex pair. The euro, the British pound, the euro, US dollar, that's also pretty interesting. Um, right now, I'm just focusing on GBP USD just for the time being. Um, the reason why is, firstly, I can only put in one trade per pair because my account's leverage is so low. Um, like I said, I'm not a professional, so I'm not going to be committing so much money toward this yet. Or at least I'm not going to, increase my account sizes unless I become a funded trader, and why not? And secondly, I just haven't got the time to focus on the AUD, CAD, and the Euro news at the moment. I've just been following the British news and the US dollar news. But anyway, there we go. That's what we want to see. We want to see this red candle push into the downside, and hopefully we can TP here. That's pretty far out. It's pretty far out. TP now that I'm looking at it. Yeah. Anyway, that's what we're hoping. That's what I'm hoping for. Ah, wonderful. Yeah, it's being pushed down. Fantastic. We are almost near the break even price, which is good. Hopefully this momentum remains strong. Oh, so much effort. Not effort, I mean so much stress to when trading. I think that's also pretty important, right? You gotta try and not be so stressed. As I said before, I've lost about 7 trades in a row. Psychologically, that sucks a lot. But at the end of the day, the money I've put toward this, it's more for me to play around and test with. I've been doing quite a lot of back testing. Um, Back testing's great. It will get you so far. Sure, I've done a bit of forward testing on demo accounts, but quite honestly, I just wanted to get stuck in. I feel as though you pay a little bit more attention when it's real money. Unfortunately for me, when it is real money, I end up losing. When it's a when it's a demo forward account, then you know, getting at least about 60-70% win rates. Whereas when it's a live account, I get like 30% win rates. You need 50 to obviously break even, so it happens. It happens. It's fine. Oh, don't go up. What are you doing? Look at that, it's going into the upside. Very frustrating. But no, I'll keep this trade. I'll play it out until the end. What I am expecting though is if I do get stopped out of this trade, then I am hoping the price will where did my red, oh, will retrace into this red zone. Let me just zoom out a little bit into this 4 hourly supply zone. And then I will put a stop loss obviously above that zone and try and target into the downside. That hopefully will be a pretty big win. Hopefully. Usually doesn't play out that way, but all right, let's take a look. Yeah, we're seeing a pretty strong push into the downside, which is fantastic. We're breaking market structure. We're breaking breaking market structure. Um, okay, there's a bit of a pullback. Hopefully it will continue. We want to break this lower low. If we can break this, then yeah, I'm very confident that this trade is going to play out. So let's hope that this momentum continues into the downside. Uh, we're currently at about what, $8, so about £7 profit at the moment. Let me just mark this out. So hopefully this is our target. We want this line to be broken. Once broken, then hopefully we'll be able to TP, and TP is that 20 quid mark. Ooh, that's a strong push into the downside. Wow, that's mega strong into the downside. Wonder what happened. US dollar strengthening. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. Going back to that original chat I had earlier, um, that this flash break. I mean, what's happening with this broken structure? Yeah, I think the US dollar is going to retrace back to some type of price point around here. Um, Hopefully that will give us enough momentum in the British pound to the US dollar to push it past and break this factual low. Um, yeah, let's hope it continues. Yeah. By the way, you can also see here that that blue line has crossed the red line, signaling bearish momentum. But like I said, we don't really want to follow that. It's just for me, it's just an extra layer of confirmation. So, gosh, look at that. Massive push into that downside. Wow. Wow. Well, let's continue to wait. See where the price takes us. All right, let's take a look. Oh, it is just been such a volatile market today. I mean, look at this, a huge push into the downside, massive push into the downside, before a V-shaped recovery. I'm assuming a lot of people's stop losses got targeted here, pushing this further down. And I'm assuming some FOMO people tried to jump in, which kind of pushed the market back up and entering a bit of a fair value gap. You can see the fair value gap here. So from here to here, so within this zone. Um, Hopefully this is a push into the upside just to claim liquidity to finally push down and break this fractal low. Um, that's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, wow, what a crazy, what a bit of a crazy day it's been. Within what the first hour and a half of the London Exchange opening. So what I want to do is continue monitoring, and if after the next after the next 30 minutes, if we're not breaking this fractal low, I may end up exiting this position or bringing my stop loss down to break even and see where the market goes after that. It seems a little bit too. That's, how do you read that, right? I mean, there was very little indication that this was going to happen. This large push into the downside. I know I'm in a shorting position, that's very good for me, but there was very little indication that that was about to happen. Um, and let alone this huge push into the upside and then push back down. I mean, it's hard to read, very hard to read the Forex market sometimes. Um, okay, so we'll continue with this. Yeah, I could potentially identify this as a new demand, a demand zone, but I'm on a 5 minute time frame. Let's jump back out to the 15 minute. Let's take a look here. Yeah, you could kind of identify this as a new demand zone and bring my TP down to about here, which you can actually see did tap into that demand zone. Um, oof, no, but I'm hoping that it ends up returning back down to this zone here. We'll continue playing it out. We'll play it out. We'll play it out. We'll see what happens to the market. I mean, it's very turbulent. Very, very turbulent. Um, Perhaps I'm reading this in the wrong way, you know? But I still think that there is hope for it to break that fractal low, and hit our TP. Let's continue waiting and see. If not, I'll either exit this position or bring my stop loss to a break-even point. Mm. Really should have seen this as a breakout into the downside, breaking that fractal high. Um, yeah, today it's just not moving in the right direction. Not too much volatility happening. I guess this trade, I'm just either gonna have to keep it open for quite some time and come back to it a little bit later, or just close it out. I don't really want to close it out. I still feel like there's quite a lot of potential for it to hit my TP. What I will likely do is bring the stop to above this level here. So if I am to be stopped out, I'm not going to lose that much cash today. But, you know, we're seeing, look at this. I mean, we're seeing huge pressure into the downside. Even these green candles, they're struggling to break up into the upside. We're seeing a lot of momentum pushing the buyers down. which is what we want to see, of course. Let's have a look here in the 5 minute time frame. Again, these candles are getting a lot smaller and with more pressure pushing them down. You can see that they're somewhat in a they're consolidating into this little box here. I think a lot of traders are trying to figure out where the price is going to go, whether it's going to go down, which hopefully will dramatically push it down, or bring it back up to here for another consolidation. Hopefully that doesn't happen because that will stop me out. I don't want to be stopped out. Just while I was talking and the price gets pushed back up. Lovely. This is the annoying part of trading. Just waiting, trying to get the right entry and exit points. Here we go. Massive push into the upside. I'm hoping it doesn't break that stop loss. Yeah, it's just not pushing up today, or I mean, it's not pushing down today so much. Where is that volatility? So if we jump onto the 4 hourly frame up here, yeah, you can see it's yeah, you can see it's beginning to try and make its way back down to this demand zone. That's what I'm hoping is going to happen. Um, you can see this is my 4 hourly trend line, which has not been broken, and this is the daily trend line, which again is very, very far away from that. So we are still in a bit of more of a bullish pattern. Yeah, it's still pretty bullish, which is good. So we just want to try and capture capture those micro trades, which I'm doing at the moment. These little micro zone to zone trades. It's where we want to make a little bit of profit. But it just doesn't seem to be moving in that direction for us today. Really frustrating. Alright, guys, so it's been a very long day, very long trade here, but we're starting to see a push into the downside, which is bringing me that profit, which is fantastic. So we've already just broken that fractional low, and hopefully we're about to hit that TP, right? So just continue monitoring and waiting, and hopefully we'll see our TP getting hit. Oh, finally, we're seeing a pretty nice push into the downside, almost hitting the TP, and just about very close to closing. Oof. So if I close, that would be roughly about what, $25 profit today? It's not massive, but it's always pretty interesting. Um, It's always good when you make a trade and it plays out. Almost there. Well, we're at 20. I mean, I could trail the stop loss, but I don't really want to do that. There we go. Come on, TP. Almost there. Ah, just on the line. Look at that. Just on the line. Ah, come on. Very, very close. And, well, that's basically done, no? There we go. Finally. Profit has finally been taken. There we go. So, yeah, okay, it would have been fantastic if I stayed in, trailing the stop loss, but that's the point of setting where you want to put your take profit. So, yeah, today, great. I mean, it took a very long time to get there. I mean, from market opening, which was, what? Okay, so from 8 a.m. to 12, 4 hours just to make 20 quid. Yeah, it kind of sucks. It's what, £5 an hour. Um, Obviously, if I put in a much larger trade, then absolutely it will be. I would love to jump in right now again, and because we've just hit one of our demand zones. Um, but I'm going to hold. Ah, oh, this is one of our. No, it's not one of our main demand zones. Okay, so yeah, I'll um I'll leave the market for now. I don't want to overtrade today. But no, I think that was good. Fantastic stuff. Very happy that we finally hit the TP. Great. Well, thank you traders for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.